Episode 2 probably should have been the premiere episode, but we gonna get into all of that. What's good, y'all? It's your guest, Sis Erica Vane, coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another Sistas video. And in this one, I'm breaking down season 9, episode number 2. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn your bell notifications so you don't miss out on any of my sisters' content and conversations. And if you also missed it, our Sistas Keeper is back. That's the live Tyler Perry Sistas on official after show with myself and Allie Nick, breaking down the episode, talking about our thoughts, sharing all of our feelings 30 minutes after new Sistas episodes premiere right here on Erica Vane TV. I will link the playlist for it in the description box down below. So get into last night's episode. If you missed it, we talked about a lot. So in my breakdown video, I won't talk about how I feel like this episode was poorly executed. I'm going to focus on performances and storylines, but we talked about that a lot on last night's episode of Our Sistas Keeper. So if you're wondering what I felt like did not work, what I felt like was inauthentic, what I felt like was just poor execution, whether it was bad writing, shots, or whatever, you can get that on Our Sistas Keeper. The episode is available right now for replay. Out letting the other characters respond in kind. I think that's the biggest thing for me, because if you're gonna have this overtly racist white person do this in this way, and it's not microaggressions, it's not passive aggressiveness, then why is no other character responding in kind? And we have a character that totes guns and duffel bags. We got a character who has not had his first child ever. We got a mama bear. We got all of these characters in the mix. We got a felon. All these characters in the mix. And nobody has a different response to the overtly racist ass white man. And don't get me wrong, like you're 100% right, and like this is somebody's experience. And Off the Hook 200, I'm very sorry for your loss, babes, and thank you so much for sharing that in the comment section. I understand that this is somebody's experience. This can be thousands of women's experiences, but you do harm in showing it this way, I think, to the women whose stuff is not as overtly racist than you would to the women who do experience it. Imagine if you actually handled this particular episode with more care, with more specificity, imbuing in it the microaggressions and the subtleties that you want black people, black women to look at and not brush off, not gaslight themselves about. If you do that and you show that that's what it is, then the overtly ones will immediately not stand. Because we're in a space right now of showing like this is what it looks like. But I fear now people are going to look and like, well, if it's not that, then technically there's two of them can be damn true. Oh, and I want to go ahead and do a disclaimer really quick, y'all. This video will be talking about Black maternal death. It will be talking about miscarriages and stillborn death. So if that is something that is a trigger for you, this might not be the video for you to watch. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. First and foremost, absolutely Ebony Obsidian. Abso-mother-fucking-lutely. This is the reason why I have been your fan way back since the tough love days. I seen it in you since the tough love days. Miss Girl is a thespian. Miss Girl is a chameleon of sorts. Miss Girl breathes so much life and humanity into Karen Mott. It's insane. To know that Ebony is still very much so in her 20s, to know that Ebony has not actually birthed a child that we know of, to know Ebony has not experienced some of the things that we have seen her emotionally go through with the Karen character, or similar to the Karen character. Meanwhile, she delivers and executes on showing us that, birthing those experiences for this Karen character, for the camera, for us to see exquisitely. It is so incredible. The pain, the visceral despair. Allie made a point on our Sistas Keeper last night of she felt like she was in the room. Yes. And I didn't have tears streaming down my face, but I was brought to tears numerous times. And there's so many people in our Sistas Keeper, the live chat was talking about they cry all episode. That is why. Watching Karen be disrespected and dismissed by this white physician who is supposed to be someone she can trust her life and her baby's life with is angering, to say the least. But on a deeper level, seeing it play out on screen, it doesn't just take you to a place of like the medical malpractice that Black women face constantly. And I don't even know if you watching have experienced this, but there's various points and there's various degrees, right? Like, we are downplayed for when we speak about our pain and our hurt. We are presumed not innocent in various moments. We are constantly confronted in various moments. So like all of that starts to come up. And outside of even the medical field, watching this doctor do her like this brought up for me the times in the workplace when the white coworker wants to downplay the things that you've done or make your life a living hell because they're not as good as you, or they basically just have some type of issue, right? Or back in like, well, I went to HBCU, so not necessarily me experienced this back in college, but just out and about in the world, and to just see how we get treated as Black women. That to me also all came up while watching Karen basically fighting for her life, but not even being able to do much of nothing but lay in the bed and cry out, scream out, something is wrong, this is not right. And to see the doctor just so flippant. This is just labor. Labor is hard. That's why it's the word labor is used. Mansplaining labor, just completely disgusting. The one thing I will speak on in this video, and when it comes to execution, is that I don't feel like the characters surrounding Karen were allowed to be true to their actual character. Because to watch a really ridiculous representation of racism and medical malpractice in this white man, and nobody really checks him for real. Nobody steps outside their character. Nobody goes off when that man was utterly egregious. His aggressions were nowhere near micro, and that's what we typically get to see in the microaggressions. These were macro ass aggressions. Why do you need to bring up that she's pregnant by 2 men multiple times? What does that biologically, physiologically have to do with delivering these babies safely and effectively? What does that have to do with preserving the life of this Black mother? Absolutely nothing. Because who the damn daddies are and how many damn daddies are there are has nothing to do with the fact that she actually needs an ultrasound, with the fact that she feels like something is wrong, with the fact that she has a smaller frame, to your point, that's not built for bearing damn children. And you still talking and looking at her. You say that out your mouth to her mother because her mother got childbearing hips, but she don't because she's too damn petite. But then you also say everything that she's going through is normal. Which one is it? Which one is it, Mr. White Supremacist? Which one is it? The anger that this man cultivated in me, I haven't felt that in a while. And I want to kind of give Tyler and the writers kudos for that, but I feel like that's the circumstance and the brilliant performances and less about like how they actually chose to tell the story. So I ain't going to do too much in reference to giving them too many props and too many claps. Again, shout out to Ebony Obsidian, because I believe Karen. I believe Karen was in pain. I believe Karen was fighting for her life. As we can see by the very end of the episode, we're left on a cliffhanger where she kind of like passes out after she reveals to Andi and Sabrina that if it comes down to choosing her babies or her, please choose her babies, save her babies. And that in and of itself, child, even being put in that position, so you have to make that decision, so you have to make that sacrifice. I feel like I get brought to tears just thinking about it, y'all. Just thinking about it. In this episode, the girls finally make it. At the start of the episode, it's a little bit funky, a little bit wonky because everybody's stuck in traffic, and we get these comedic beats with Danni jumping out the car, running down on Sabrina, but not knowing that it's Sabrina. It's like, you don't know your homegirl car like that? Okay. Sabrina is debriefing with Maurice. Everybody's stuck and can't get to the hospital. Meanwhile, Fatima is still advocating hard, heavy. I meant to do a video last week talking about Fatima and Karen. I might still do it this week because I was just very, very appreciative to Fatima, and I'm starting this season off on a very high note with her character and really loving her character again. I feel like this is the Fatima that we got at the very beginning, a Fatima that was more focused, a Fatima that was more poised, a Fatima that is a girl's girl. And I just thoroughly enjoyed her in episode 1 going to bat for Karen. I feel like not only was she going for bat for Karen, but she was also going to bat for herself, and right is right and wrong is wrong. And seeing how moved she is, seeing how connected she is, seeing how emotionally affected she is by Karen's physical state, but then also her emotional state, it was incredible to see. So aside from all the bullshit, Fatima in these few episodes is reaffirming for me that she does have sense and that she is a dope chick. And I would love for them to carry this out throughout the rest of the season and not have her go to the places that we have seen her go and the deviations that we have seen happen since her introduction into the series, because I feel like this is Fatima's strong suit, and this is Fatima's like the best place for her as a character, not just bowing down to Zach and all of his inadequacies, not just being Zach's fix a problem, save a hoe, not just being the fighter for all the damn fires that Zach is putting on all around damn Atlanta, but being a woman of integrity, of deep passion, of consideration, that moves for a purpose with maximum impact in mind. Not being moved by the little bullshit that Zach got her going through. But we'll see. Again, it's only 2 episodes, so I'm not getting my hopes up too much. By the time that the girls get to the hospital, not much has actually changed. Karen is actually in the room. Miss Lisa is there. Aaron is there. And baby, the way they gave us some crumbs of Aaron connecting with her emotionally and physically, the head on the forehead was sending me every single time, but I was eating it up every single time because I love Aaron and Karen together. I wish that they would have given Aaron more dialogue. I feel like it would have been truer to his character for him to be pushing back more with the doctors, asking more questions and being a bit more assertive, but they just kind of have him like hanging around, and aside from the what the fuck that he says a little bit towards the end of the episode, we don't really get much from him except for him like holding Karen's hand and supporting her and then listening to everybody else. But I've already said that I feel like Aaron is a very underutilized character, so that kind of is what it is. Thank God that Andi is there because she's cultivating all of the information that she needs. Thank God that Sabrina stumbles upon Dr. Vaughn speaking to, Fatima winds up tracking down a new doctor, Dr. Vaughn, and he comes in, he does an assessment, he does an ultrasound, and he discovers that one of Karen's babies is stillborn, and that is why she's having the pain that she's having. That's why she's in the early labor. And Dr. Vaughn goes to Karen's actual doctor to speak on it, and his biggest concern is that he's the attending physician. He's the one who is the actual doctor on this case, and that the 4-year resident Dr. Vaughn is overstepping. It doesn't matter about this girl's life. It doesn't matter about the stillborn. He literally says, well, she can birth the stillborn. She can vaginally birth a stillborn, when it's a higher risk of when you birth a stillborn vaginally than if you were to go in and do a C-section to remove the healthy baby and then try to save the mom's life. Mr. White Man, do you need that? Because you can get it. And I love in the preview that we're getting to see Danni talk about watch your back for the rest of your life. Hopefully you mean that, because at this point, Danni, you talk a good game about a lot of things, but I ain't seen you jump bad on that goofy ass nurse. I ain't seen you jump bad on this doofy ass doctor. I haven't seen you do much of nothing, and somebody needed to tear some shit up in there. I'm just going to say it. Somebody needed to do it. It could have been you. You ain't done it yet. So maybe you need to be out in this damn white man's, white physician's bushes, haunting his ass for the rest of his goddamn days throughout the rest of the season. I'll take it. You ain't got shit else to do. What else happened in this episode? That's the crux of it, y'all. It is going down at the hospital. Will Karen be able to birth these babies? Has Karen lost one of these babies? Once they find that out, baby, Devale, right behind Ebony, was in his bag through some very brilliant emotional moments that he was able to deliver. When Fatima has to reveal to him what is going on because they overhear this from the doctor and then they come and they spread the word. Watching Zach hear one of the babies is gone, Karen could potentially lose her life, and that washing over him and all the feelings that bring up, and it's just, you can feel it. It's not even that you see it. Same with Ebony's Karen portrayal. You can feel everything that she's feeling through the screen. With Zach, you can feel what this means to him through the screen. Absolutely. Kudos all around. Absolutely. I'm hoping that Dr. Vaughn is able to perform the C-section. Of course, they're going to save Karen's life because Karen can't die. I don't give a damn what nobody's talking about. And I'm also hoping that they're mistaken. Like, Ellie and I talked about this briefly on Our Sister's Keeper, but maybe the ultrasound was malfunctioning as well. They said that the baby fetal monitor was malfunctioning, so maybe the ultrasound was malfunctioning as well, and they couldn't hear the heartbeat at first, but it's still in there. The point is that Dr. Vaughn has now been made Karen's doctor. They dropped Dr. Cruz because he gave the tip about, well, she has to request me. I can't overstep and I'm gonna lose my license, blah, 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 blah. Okay, bet that's done. He's gonna go in and do this emergency C-section. We're gonna pull out the healthy baby, and hopefully, y'all, fingers crossed, the other baby is in there just with a weaker heartbeat, right? Just hanging on. But we got there in the nick of time, and it's gonna be all good. Fingers crossed, prayers up. Let me know what you thought about the episode in the comment section down below. It's your good sis, Sheila Talk TV with, and I'm going to see you in the next one.